Hey, are you out there? I miss you. I miss the drum major, the parade goers, and who doesn't miss her? St. Patrick's Day. The energy in this city is always so palpable on this day. It's crazy. And now, poof. Well, we're going to recapture some of that energy. We've got a ton of talent tonight.
So my wife and I saw the movie Harriet recently, which was a great movie. And one of the things I found fascinating about the movie was the way the slaves used the words of spirituals as code to communicate with each other under the noses of the white people. And as it turns out, in the Irish uprising of 1798, they did a similar thing. It wasn't like, "Hey Kevin, when's the uprising happening at all?" That wouldn't have done.
No.
Right. So they called it the Rising of the Moon, which is also the name of this song, which I'll play on the baran, rhymes with moron. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush me, boy, oh, hush and listen, and his face is all aglow. I have orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. At the spot down by the river, right well known to you and me. One more word for signal token, whistle up the marching tune. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Out of many a mud-walled cabin, eyes are watching through the night. Many manly hearts are beating for the coming morning light. Murmurs run across the valley like the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 pikes are flashing at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes are flashing at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes are flashing at the rising of the moon.
That was amazing. That was fantastic. Rising of the Moon, Scott Robinson. So, how have you been this St. Patrick's Day? And how's this St. Patrick's Day been a little bit different than the rest?
Well, it's been very different in a lot of ways. Mostly because we got a puppy yesterday. When you have a puppy, everything is about the puppy.
All right.
So it could have been any day. It could have been St. Swithin's Day, and it would have been Murphy the Puppy Day.
Perfect. And that's the name of the puppy, Murphy?
Yes,
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, you have another song for us?
I do.
All right, awesome.
It's sometimes called Sick Note, and it's sometimes called Why Paddy's Not at Work Today. I think for our purposes, we can call it Paddy and the Social Distance.
There we go. Awesome.
Dear boss, I write this note to tell you of my plight, and at the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face a deathly gray, and I'm writing this to tell why Paddy's not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear, and to throw 'em down from off the top seemed quite a good idea, but the foreman, he would not agree. He being an awful sod. He said I'd have to cart him down the ladder in my hod. While moving all them bricks by hand, it seemed so awful slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured the rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks is heavier than me. So when I untied the rope, of course the barrel fell like lead, and still clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, and to my dismay I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. Well, the barrel broke my shoulder as toward the ground it sped, and when I reached the top, I banged the pulley with my head. I clung on tight, though numb with shock from that almighty blow, while the barrel spilled out half its bricks some 14 floors below. Well, when the bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel, so I started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I raced toward the ground, and I fell among the broken bricks that were scattered all around. And as I lay there moaning, sure I thought I'd passed the worst, but when the barrel reached the top, it was then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks rains down on me, I didn't have a hope, and in the great confusion, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel being heavier, it started down once more, and it landed right on top of me as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you understand why Paddy's not at work today.
Oh my gosh, Scott Robinson. That's amazing.
That's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, yeah. When do you think, how old do you think that song is? Like, where do you think that song came from?
Well, they were making buildings 14 stories high, so it must be 20th century, early 20th century. But they were still carrying around bricks in a hod, a kind of a box on a stick. So I'm going to guess 1910-ish. Oh, speaking of Murphy.
Oh, yay! Oh, I was hoping this was going to happen. All right.
This is Allison.
Hello, Allison. Allison, very nice to meet you.
Sure. Wait, you gotta hold
This is the other Scott Robinson.
This is the other. Yes, I am now as known as the other. There we go.
There we go.
There's Murphy. Oh,
These are St. Patrick's Day pup.
there we go. Oh, beautiful. Oh, Murphy, we love you, and we could all use a hug and a squeeze from you. All right, Mr. Robinson. Thank you very much once again. That was beautiful.
My pleasure. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, we'll be in touch for sure.
Take care.
Ciao. All right. Murphy, that was an added bonus. Who knew? Now, talk about added bonus. As you've already seen, we've got some new features. There's Dana right there, a hi from Chappaqua. And here is, well, this is Ann O'Connell. Ann, I assure you, it's working. Great. So now we've got, I don't want to say that I'm like some kind of song and dance man, but let's go to our dance expert. We've got a dance expert lined up for this evening. Right, there we go. And we're coming in. Boom. Oh!
Hello.
Well, hello there. There we are, and here we are. So, who do I have the pleasure of seeing right now?
This is my mom. How are you? And I'm Audrey.
Hello, Audrey. Hello, Mom. Does Mom have a name?
Yeah, I'm Katie Dailey. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Katie and Audrey. And then who, I'm assuming that there's someone behind the camera, as there often is. Who might be there behind the camera?
my dad and my brother.
Oh, two people. Yeah, you got a two-person camera team.
McLaughlin, Dailey.
And where are we? This I've been in a few pubs in my day. This looks like a railing of some type to me.
Isn't it awesome? So we're in our basement in Chicago, and we have a bar in our basement in Chicago. You know, we're the Dailies. That's how we roll.
Fantastic. So we're at Dailey's. Finally, I've made it to Dailey's. Okay. Tell me a little bit about Audrey and the dancing, because we're about to roll a clip, a dance of Audrey today, and she's soloing the whole thing. But what was supposed to be happening today, Audrey?
Well, today I was supposed to be going to different schools and different pubs across the city, but I can't now.
Well, you can't physically, but you absolutely can digitally. So here we go. We're going to roll this tape of Audrey Dailey dancing a hornpipe. There it is. That was wonderful. Bravo, Audrey. Now, Audrey, obviously that's not something that you just made up this afternoon in order to be on this show. How long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing for 9 years.
Whoa. How old are you?
12.
Oh.
And I started when I was 3.
Wow, fantastic. And so, Mom, how often is Audrey being taken around to different dancing venues and things?
Yes, a lot. So she's at least 3 times a week. We're driving out to the suburbs. She's got class, but she competes all over the state and in the region on weekends. And then, she does shows before this whole coronavirus shut everything down. She danced at the Bulls game. She was supposed to dance at the Blackhawks game and be in the Chicago parade and just dance all over the city today. But, obviously that lightened her load significantly.
Did they turn the rivers green?
They do, but they did not this week. I mean, they did nothing. Everything got shut down. The millennials I think they might have ruined it for everybody because they weren't supposed to go out, and they did.
Oh, no.
And shut everything down.
Right. All right. Well, I hardly think that it's solely a millennial thing, but I think that we're all now. This is day 4 since the calling of the national emergency, so we're all like tucking ourselves in. And I know that some of us are a little more exuberant than others, but I do think we're all. I mean, I can definitely feel it in our city.
Yeah, it's definitely been not the normal St. Patrick's Day. We're usually starting in February and dancing and don't start until after St. Patrick's Day. So this is not the norm for us at all.
Yeah, not at all. All right, well, thank you all very much there at the Daily Bar. It was wonderful to meet with you, and Audrey, bravo on the dancing. Please keep it up. We're going to need more and more, and hopefully you'll get back to your big crowds soon.
Yeah, Thanks so much.
All right. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Wow. That right there. These are some of the new features that I was talking about. All right. Let's go. This is actually odd. The quantum. We attached a kind of a quantum stream situation, and I'm getting. Yeah, hold on. This is coming in through the quantum stream. I didn't know this was online yet, to be quite honest. Hold on. Let's. Whoa.
Oh my word. Oh my word. This cannot be happening. Holy. Sweetheart, is this what, am I looking at what I think I'm looking at?
It depends on what you think you're looking at, like a melon shaped.
No, I'm telling you, I have been waiting for this moment, I have to tell you, for nigh on 100 years. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. But my Aunt Colleen, she gave me a photograph of you. This is exciting. I'm almost afraid to say it, because I'm afraid you're going to say nay. But you have to go with me, love. Tell me, sweetheart, am I looking at... Oh,
well, I pretty much go...
Is it Scott Robinson I'm looking at?
Well, yes, that's who you're looking at.
This is exciting. My Aunt Colleen told me years ago, Maggie, you get on a boat and you go over... She said you go over to New York City and you find Scott Robinson. And the reason being, love, your great-grandfather or great-grand-uncle, I'm not certain. The whole story's a little evasive to me. But nonetheless, your great-grandfather, Ezekiel, have you heard of him? You know him, right?
I know several Ezekiels, yeah. But he, like an egg shape, yeah.
This is exciting. Your great-grand-uncle or father, Ezekiel, married my great-grandmother, Maggie or Katie McEwen. They were old. I'm getting the names a little confused because I never really met them.
No.
But we're kin, love. You and I are kin. And my great-aunt Colleen's mother said you have to go over and find Scott Robinson. I said, well, how am I going to find him? I suppose I'll just make inquiries. But there you are. And you do. You look just like the portrait that I have of your great-grand-uncle, Ezekiel. Well, you have no idea the journey it took me to get here today. You have no idea of it. Well, yeah, no, do the profile again. Let me see.
Well, because as I recollect, Zeke, as we, in the family called him, we called him the Big Z, actually, and that was...
Yeah, well, I'm looking at it now. Oh, my word, I never thought this day would happen, but here it is. This is exciting. I have good fortune, I'll tell you that. I'm lucky indeed.
But you
have no idea, my love, what it took me to get here. What were you going to say? I'll let you talk.
Just Maggie is Maggie
McLaughlin.
Yes. Well, Maggie, I raise a glass of tea. I'm having a lion's tea.
Well, that's odd. I have too. This is peculiar and fortunate. There you go.
Well, here it is. That's a strong cuppa.
Well, yeah, mine's a little weaker. I take mine a little weaker, but I'm a little older and a little frailer. Not by much, though, love. Don't discount me yet.
Yeah.
I've got her blood, and I know you're from good stock. That's what I'm hearing anyway.
You should see my thighs. Can you tell me how did you get here?
Oh, love, I tell you, this journey. It feels like I've been sailing for 100 years. But here's the truth. I'm on a boat, right? And the boat that I was on was huge. I had never seen a boat this size in my life. And there are different levels of the boat. Now, the rich people, they're on the upper levels. You and I, however, we'd be... Oh, wait a minute. Scott, I don't know. Are you a man of means? Because if you're a man of means, you'd be up on the upper levels.
Well, let me just say this. I own a belt and I own suspenders, but...
Well, you might have been on the upper levels. But the rich people, they're up top. You and I, however, or at least I would be down below in what they call cargo, down deep in the hull. It's not meant for people, Scott. It's not fit for people. There's no light. There's little air. And we're all packed in. And the people around you, you're not speaking their language. Not that it matters a good deal. But, Scott, it is hard to converse. And the smell. Oh! First of all, you'll be wearing the same garment day in and day out. There's no privacy. You're not changing your clothing. And forget not, you cannot pack much. So people are wearing layers and layers on their back. They're just carrying it all across America on their back. And the food, even if you were on dry land, you couldn't keep it down. But once you add the rocking of the boat, all I can tell you, friend, is when you get a chance, if you're sailing, you go up to the top deck and you put some sun in your face and you get some fresh air. And by the by, after the boat leaves us in New York and sails back to Europe, they will not put people where I just spent the last 3 weeks of my life. Nay, they'll put rolls of boats of fabric. Casks of ale. Sacks of oats, not people. But that's where we'll be. And it was brutal, I'll tell you that. But I'm happy here. I'm getting some fresh air finally, I'll tell you.
And that's how you came to it. How long did it take you to get across?
It was over 3 weeks, and the seas were rough. Let me tell you, people were spewing and coughing. It was not an easy boat ride at all. At least 3 weeks more. We tried not to keep track so much. You just got depressed. But when you're good, you go up to the top deck and get some sun in your face and some fresh air. Oh, can I tell you what happened when I did it? I was up. It was the third time I did it. They didn't allow you up often, but a group of us went up. And while we were up top, there were two musicians play good Irish music, which I thought was unusual. They were from Devonshire, Scotland. Devonshire they were from.
Those music.
Next thing I know, a friend of mine, her name is Anna Marie. She was from Italy, Milano, I think. Although it's hard to understand, we really weren't speaking the same language. But she's got that gleam in her eye. I know what she's thinking with that gleam in her eye. Next thing you know, she's jumping up on her feet and she says, "Maggie, let's dance." So I say, "Well, Anna Marie, I don't know if I really want to be dancing with you." And then there's a fella across the deck looking at me. He's giving me one of these, Scott. He's going like this. Well, maybe it was subtler than that.
Where is this story going? Where is this story going? We got a mixed.
So this man is Boris Adamovich. I never really did get his name right. He wants to dance with me. So he comes over, the music is playing, and I'm kicking up my feet, and I'm twirling around, and he's twirling me the other way. Next thing I know, I drop down. It's embarrassing, Scott. I really don't want to admit it. And then, I cannot believe what he's doing. He comes walking over to me. This is betwixt you and I. No one else. Are you promising me no one's ever going to hear this?
I promise you, no, maybe about 30, 35 people, but no, just this is between you and me.
Right, betwixt you and I. I'm falling down on the ground. He comes over with his hand, he reaches his hand down, he picks up my hand. He kisses the back of my hand, Scott. I only met him. I was just dancing with him for a wee bit of time, I promise you that. But he kisses the back of my hand. Then, when we arrive in New York, he says he wants to meet me. He says, "Why don't you meet us here a year later? We'll go over to Ellis Island a year from now if you're not wedlocked." I think he really had a sweet eye for me, I'll tell you that. So, I don't know if I'm going to meet him or not, but his name was Boris Adamovich. Do you know the name? Have you heard of that?
I know several Borises, but...
Adamovich? You haven't heard
Adamovich, no.
Adamovich.
Adamovich. Yeah. Well, sounds like someone I would know.
We'll make some inquiries, love.
I will inquire.
Oh, this is exciting. Look how handsome you are. Yeah, I'll tell you, you're even more handsome than the portrait of the Ezekiel love. There you are. Yeah, perfect. I can barely contain myself. You seem like this is a new beginning for you. You seem like if I had to bet on a group of people like yourself that were going to reinvent a land and create a wonderful country, just from meeting you in these 2 minutes, I'd say we're in good hands. Well, when I was walking down the street, there was a sign on the door, and that was a little perplexing. I said, "Help wanted," which was enlightening to me because certainly I'm looking for work. Help wanted, Swedes, Poles, Italians, Scots. No, Irish. Scott, no, Irish. Oh, who would post such a thing? Why not the Irish? We can work as well as anybody else. So I'm hoping you'll be able to find me work. Scott, as I said, my great-grandmother, or was it my aunt? It's been a wee bit of time. And I've been out in the sun. But Scott, I understand now you're living here in New York City, right? I am. I can't wait to see your farm. because Scott, I'm going to live with you.
That's
I come all over here to live with you.
That's fantastically exciting, and we're going to make that happen. And the thing that I just want to know, I hear that you're saying you need some work. We're going to work on a LinkedIn account for you. Don't worry about it. I've got to go. I've got a couple of musicians. Actually, this may have been some of the music that you heard on the ship. I don't know if Brian Lindsay is actually from Devonshire, but
Right.
I'm going to ask him.
Doris is calling me, love. I do have to go too. I'll see you in a wee bit. God bless you.
God bless you.
There, love.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Big hug to Boris. Be careful. Air hugs.
Bye-bye.
Air hugs. Quantum streaming. All right. Let's fire up Brian Lindsay. This guy has talent to spare. Wow. LinkedIn. Brian, do you have a LinkedIn account?
I don't have a LinkedIn account, actually.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I've been talking to a couple people tonight, and yeah, they don't have LinkedIn accounts. But a lot of people are kind of dusting off accounts, I'll tell you that. Brian.
Included.
Yeah, exactly. So, what were you thinking was going to happen on St. Paddy's Day, and what is happening?
Well, my expectation for St. Patrick's Day was I was going to be in a bar in Louisville, Kentucky,
Ooh.
playing some loud, lively Irish tunes and songs with my bandmate Alex and his dad and another buddy who lives in Ohio. And, it was going to be a rousing good time crammed full of people. And here we are.
Yeah.
I'm very distant from that circumstance.
Yeah, so where are you?
I'm sitting in my parents' house in New York.
Oh.
The tour that was part of is no more.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of songs that you laid down for us earlier today, so I'm not stopping. Here we go. One song and two jigs.
Yeah, do you want me to tell you just a little bit about those before
I
you play
do.
them?
I do.
Yeah, so the first song is a traditional Irish song that basically talks about the immigrant experience, which I believe your previous guest was just talking about, right?
Absolutely. She was living it, I think.
Living it. Yeah. So, as today is the day to celebrate the Irish American experience here in America, and that is an experience of immigrants. And I think it's also a good time to think about all of the modern day immigrants from all over the world who are facing the same kinds of circumstances and prejudices and challenges that Irish immigrants faced, only like less than 100 years ago. So this song is called "Across the Western Ocean," and talks about leaving from Liverpool to get to the U.S. A lot of Irish immigrants had to travel to British ports to get on the packet ships that were traveling to the U.S. because that's where a lot of the trade with the U.S. was coming out of the U.K. rather than out of Ireland. And then there's also a pair of jigs following that song. The first one is a tune called "Princess Nancy," written by the wonderful Chicago-based Irish fiddle player Liz Carroll.
It's about my mother-in-law, I think, actually.
I usually think of my mother Nancy.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
I play that tune.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that one's for her. And then the second tune is called the Cordal Jig, which is named after a town called Cordal. I actually have never looked up where Cordal is.
Interesting.
So.
All right. Brian, even before we go, I'm just going to say you are an amazing musician, and these songs show it. Here we go, Brian Lindsay, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the times are hard and the wages low. Amelia, where you bound for? The Rocky Mountains are my home, across the western ocean. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. The Rocky Mountains are my home, across the western ocean. That land of promise there you'll see. Amelia, where you bound for? I'm bound across that western sea to join the Irish army. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. I'm bound across that western sea to join the Irish army. To Liverpool I'll make my way. Amelia, where you bound for? To Liverpool, that Yankee school, across the western ocean. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean, to Liverpool at Yankee school, across the western ocean. There's Liverpool Pat with his tarpaulin hat. Amelia, where you bound for? And Yankee Jack, that packet rat, across the western ocean. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. There's Yankee Jack, that packet rat, across the western ocean. So beware those packet ships, I say. Amelia, where you bound for? They'll steal your heart and soul away. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean, oh, across the western ocean. They'll steal your heart and soul away. Across the western ocean. Oh, the times are hard and the wages low. Amelia, where you bound for? The Rocky Mountains are my home, across the western ocean. Across the western ocean, oh, across the western ocean. The Rocky Mountains are my home, across the western ocean.
Amazing.
So now I'm going to do the jigs.
Oh my God. You know, they said it. They said it all. Amazing, unbelievable, beautiful. Brian, that was really inspirational, and you know, Drew said it. I need this song, and we definitely needed this song, and it, you know, for me, it definitely went right in. Amazing, and I can't do all the, but there's hearts. The whole thing is happening. My fan just kicked on like it's all. Yes, thank you, Brian. Thank you, bravo.
Awesome.
Well done. All right. Well, thank you very, very much. And you know, good luck on your travels. I don't know where any of this is taking any of us.
Yep. Well, thank you for what you're doing to bring people together right now and try and bring some joy to everybody. I hope everybody is able to find some way to celebrate today, and yeah, this is part of that. So we'll all make it through some way, somehow.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Brian, and we'll see you soon. Be in touch.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Love you. Wow. Okay. And you know, there is still a lot to be celebrating and be thankful for. Just want to make sure I'm bringing up the right picture here. I want to thank the folks downstairs, and you know who you are. This is TNT Translation. This is Tim and Teresa and Sarah downstairs providing some beautiful St. Patrick's Day fare. Delish. All right, so music, dancing, a lot about our history. We're going to go now to, here we go, a great Irish. Wow, the comments are, you can't even believe how many comments are coming in. I've kind of overwhelmed myself with the comments here. Let's see, where is... There he is. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, yes, finally. Let's get some facial hair.
Oh, yeah, got a good amount. I should have done my hair before this. Oh, it's weird to see you in both two places at once. I'm watching on Facebook. Oh boy, I gotta minimize that.
Yeah,
So,
get me lower. People say the egg shape actually confuses a lot of people. It can be scary.
I can't tell where you are. Yeah, you're like.
I'm all over.
Yeah, like the Predator. You ever see that?
Yes.
Just like the Predator.
Yes. I've never actually been. So now I put up a little post and you kind of reached out. You're an Irish comedian? That's the deal?
Irish American.
Copy that.
First generation, Irish American.
First generation. Well, that beard looks like it's taken more than a generation to...
No, I'm a pretty hirsute person. I got this... I started growing it in November, I think. And, I've already had a trim. I went to a beard place. Oh my goodness. I've never been to like a barber before. And it's amazing. They like really hot towels and stuff.
Yeah. I went into. I don't go to like the fancy places, like the spa places and all that.
Right.
I usually go to the ones that are in the subway.
Yeah. Well,
And I the last time I was there, I walked in and I said, "How much just to clean off the ears and clean up the back?" And then maybe just pull the top a little bit. And the guy looked at me and he went, "You mean a haircut?" I was just looking for a little something. Just want to know, have you ever been to Ireland?
I've been to Ireland a few times. One time it was, I've been to a few times. Once when I was really young. I remember a woman in a zebra dress, and then a lot of cows, actually. My aunt lives across the street or down the road from a pig slaughtery.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that's what you call it, but they slaughter pigs, and when the wind blows the wrong way, yeah, it's disgusting.
Ooh.
But then I went back another 2 times. One time I went because I had been in India, and a beautiful place, but eventually I drank the wrong thing, like a fruit juice, and I was like, oh my goodness. It was a rough, like, 3-hour bus ride. And then, so then I was like, I gotta go someplace where I can just eat bland food.
Right.
And Ireland did the trick. Everything was beige.
Yeah.
All meals are beige.
That's where I felt like in the beginning of our courtship, Kate and myself. Oh yeah, well you and I similar tale because of the Irish, but Kate and I quickly found that the bonding place, the spot, is the between the Jews and the Irish is the corned beef.
Yeah, corned beef. And then don't we have like the same thing, but we call it different things for like some kind of baked potato thing, like latkes.
Latkes, yep.
What do we? Yeah.
So
a lot of fried food.
A lot of fried food, a lot of beige. The poetry of the moment.
Oh yes, you must be referring to limericks.
That's the poetry of the moment.
They're popular poems. You know, they're meant to. They're for the people, and that's a nice way of saying they end up being a little dirty.
Yeah.
So I wrote 4 of them while I was watching.
Wonderful. Oh, this is awesome. So maybe Mom Audrey, maybe you want to cover Audrey's ears. I'm not sure.
So it goes 99557. Roughly, that's the meter. And just for that last line, you're gonna want to cover ears.
Okay, it's the 7. You're saying it's the 7 that really. That's where. Okay.
And the rhyming scheme is AABBA. So that last A. You can tell what it's gonna be by the first A. So anyway, I clean all day, so nothing is amiss. My house has never been quite as clean as this. I use bleach and scrub. I even clean the tub. Too bad I can't say the same for my penis.
Oh, there.
There. You just kind of sneaking in there.
Yeah.
It's not too dirty, but.
No. I mean, well, now that you've cleaned it, it's not dirty at all, and there's nothing wrong with talking about anything that's not dirty. So and I wanted, since you're the last guest on the last show, all right, go ahead. I love these. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So then, that's topical about the coronavirus, and then also...
And your penis.
Yeah, and my penis. It's always topical. Somehow that's a joke. So then I wanted to work in the parade. So, the parade's been canceled for public health. That's okay, because I don't want to spread it myself. We'll all stay inside and still have a great time. Now I've got to get back to cleaning my penis.
Okay, wow.
So you can have some fun. You can have some fun with the meter, because it's poetic license.
There is. I think you're about to have...
I told you it's AABBA. So I had to...
You didn't tell me it was going to be the same A over and over and over again. Okay, gosh, I didn't know there were so many words that rhymed with...
From before.
Yeah. Oh, same A. Just cut and paste the A. That's one of the limerick tricks of the trade. Tips and tricks. I don't want to talk about tips right now. Let's just talk about the tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 2 more.
Oh, really, 2? Okay.
Yeah. And what's it? This one is kind of a meta one. It's a limerick about limericks. So, I'm not trying to write dirty limericks. They just keep coming up in the mix. I try to keep it clean, maybe mention something green, but I always end up rhyming with my dot matrix printer. See that one, you know, you have to keep them guessing. And the final one, let's go through about the show. You had a singer, dancer, reenactor, and a violinist. Now you're having a comedian to finish. I'll do my best, as did all the rest. Now, is it dirty if I pronounce it penis?
It's not. It turns out it's not, because you talked about it earlier. You cleaned it, and you know, we've all got our tools of the trade, and we're spraying down everything. I'm sure with Shayna around that you everything has been spotless. It's clean. It's ship shape.
She doesn't like the bleach smell, so we do it twice. We do a bleach thing, or antibacterial thing, and then we spray with a nice lilac scented Mrs. Myers.
That's really. Next time I'm just bringing you on for household tips.
Yeah, I've got a couple. We went to the playground the other day. We had to sterilize the toys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sterilize everything. Sterilize twice, cut once. That's what the Moyle said.
Ooh.
All right, Chris Manley. Well, God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, we'll be coming around again, young man.
Okay, great.
All right. Pull your beard for me. Talk to you.
It's real. It's there.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I got him before he said Happy St. Patrick's Day. I just didn't want to hear about his penis again. Okay. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. St. Patrick's Day. Trying to capture that energy. I miss it. I miss you. Brian Lindsay, definitely that song made me cry.